2022 Endurance eRacing World Championship brought to you in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Aztec Sim Sports, Global Flix, Motorvision.tv, Stengolm, ESTV, and Film Vault Limited.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Just under 2.5 hours to go here at the first round of the GTR24H 2022 Endurance eRacing World Championship. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, welcoming back with Yusuf bin Sahil. We've been keeping our eyes on proceedings at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on GTE because the pit stop phase has just happened again. And Deegan Fairclough from the 54 Musto Pescara Engineering Porsche is being hunted down by one Wojtek Polezny from Juice's Motorsport Club. I did say earlier on in the broadcast that GTE is looking rather feisty, and Polezny, we know, is a known quantity here. Yusuf, what have you picked up?
I mean, look at Henry Sinek. He's twitching from left to right, trying to find a way through on Denis Eshenko. This is for P2 in the DPI class. The Moradnas E-Star 64 against the 17 Unison Racing car, and they're nose to tail as we head towards Spoon Corner. Henry Sinek's been closing in lap after lap, and he's now finally within striking distance.
Right, well, I've just seen that the 67 Mugen Sim Racing BMW M8 GTE, piloted by Zoltan Varkonyi, and that size says everything right there. Go on.
No, I'm putting my hand on my head because I feel like you're about to say Mugen have got another penalty.
No, Mugen are in the way. Mugen are in the way of Juices. They're trying to get past, going through underneath the bridge, through after Degner. So there's Deegan Fairclough, there's Zoltan Varkonyi, and just behind is Wojtek Polezny. They've just gone through the hairpin, and now it's closing up, and at the minute it's getting frightfully close. They've got, looks to be Glam Racing in the 404 just up ahead. That is the case. So Zooks is basically Piggy in the middle in the GT3 battle for the overall lead, and possibly in the next 2 hours and 27 minutes is going to be for the victory for the first round of the championship. Let's not forget that Juices did not, did not get pole position in LMP2. It's getting rather hairy as they're heading down into 130. Oh my goodness, 3 cars line astern, and all three of them turn in. And Zooks runs wide. That opens the door for Polezny, and Deegan Fairclough has now got A rear view mirror filled with the Juice's liveried Aston Martin 74. Battle for the lead on coming through the final corner.
Yeah, I'm going to try to bring this one up onto the screen so we can see exactly what's happening. And they're all following each other. This is brilliant stuff.
Dogfight and, oh my goodness, Wojtek Polezny to the outside of Deacon Fairclough. They make contact and sideways for the Juice's car, but he holds on. Oh my goodness, then he runs wide.
And that just means that the BMW of Mugen will be able to find a way through, of course, one lap down. But this Mugen car wants no part in the action. They just want to get their head down and try to find a way through on Bezrikov and DIS up ahead to get onto the same lap in their own little battle for P3.
Oh, this is getting really a bit too close for comfort right here, because Zoltan Varkonyi trying to find every which way in his power to get past Deacon Fairclough and going through into the Degners.
He's letting Juices through.
He's doing the right thing there, but that was so close earlier on, just a few corners ago, that Polezny was round the outside doing an M&M on Deacon Fairclough and nearly pulled the move off, but when he started turning in, Fairclough was on the racing line, which is his right to be there, but they were more than alongside each other. I am going to try and scoot back and have a little look at a different angle, maybe on board from Deacon Fairclough, so just hold the phone on that one because I want to get that from an on-board perspective from him.
Big battle though going on right now between Wojtek Polezny and Deacon Fairclough. To be honest, if I was Mugen, I would not have let Juices through. I would have gone onto the back of that Musto car and essentially said, you let me through or we're battling and you're going to cost yourself time, because Mugen are quicker than the pair of them as they're heading down towards 130 yard. Juices on the outside, now looking to the inside. Musto trying to hold on to the lead of the GTE class for dear life. They close in onto B32 down the, not B32, Glam Racing. Musto not going to be able to find a way through, but you can see Juices looking for the slingshot on corner exit, and that's a really poor exit for Musto Pescara.
And that is not what they want right now, because Wojtek Polezny back in the slipstream once again. Down the start-finish straight, Fairclough weaves to the right-hand side. And Polezny, he's got two GT3 cars up ahead. He's going to go for the same move at the same corner. This time he keeps it pinned. He's going to get the inside line for the next apex. They make contact twice in a row. But Wojtek Polezny keeps it pinned, keeps it the throttle very much in. And that was well held, but he's got Teleforingen up in front. They go off the track and come into the path, and Deacon Fairclough back up the inside. Lead is changing through the next left-hander. Polezny's got the inside line. Fairclough runs a little bit wide, and Juices are through back into the lead. Epic stuff, but it was so close. It could have been one wrong move and someone would have been spat out to the left or the right hand side of the track.
I have a feeling that this battle might not be over yet either, and right now, again, I'm still looking at Zoltan Varkonyi. Yes, I know this is a battle for the GTE lead, but Zoltan Varkonyi on this charge for Mugen Sim Racing, the fastest GTE car on track. He just wants to find a way through. He's practically alongside the Musto car, can't find a way through yet. He already got past Juices before. Then he ended up behind, so I don't know if he let the Juices through due to the contact that we saw between the pair of them into Spoon Corner a few laps ago. But look at Juices, they've already pulled a gap to the Musto Pescara car. And right now, that is Wojtek Polezny absolutely flying in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, pretty good work by the Czech Republic driver. I'm actually going to bring you a little bit of an onboard. And it's going to be a lengthy one, so we're going to play that at full racing speed very, very shortly once I've teed that up and got that ready. Because I'm looking at the actual onboard in reverse at the moment for Deacon Fairclough. And you're going to see the amount of steering wheel correction. And it's going to start from just as they come down past the pit lane. So I am ready with my replay. Production, are we good to go? Right, let's have a look at this real racing speed. So Fairclough to the inside. There is Polezny. Look at the steering wheel input. Glam gets out of the way. A little bit of a clash, and he straight away has to overcorrect, and it pushes Juices sideways, going through into the next left-hander. Now into the right, you see the Teleforingen car just up ahead. And this is where Juices get a little bit compromised going through as Teleforingen, and it opens the door for Fairclough. He goes up the inside, now through, and you can see in the left-hand mirror ever so slightly just through shot, and there is Polezny, gets the job done.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from Wojtek Polezny as he continues to climb up the order. Zoltan Varkuni in that 67 still no, he's got through on the Musto Pescara car, so now he's trying to close in on two Deuces. Just a reminder, 2 hours 20 minutes remaining. Both of the Mugen cars suffering issues earlier on, trying to climb their way back through the order. Also, if you are a Mugen fan, Martin Mergley is now 1 lap down on B32 Racing and is lapping quicker.
Well, that just goes to show that you take a lick and keep on ticking. That's the old saying. And to be honest with you, I have to give credit where credit is due. Adam Surej got back into that car after that massive drama for Christian Kianek that started in the 82 car. As we see Nikolai Bezrukov trying to chase down. That's getting rather tasty as well. Just under 0.8 of a second between 3rd and 4th on the road. So Unison Racing, it's been a difficult... Well, I mean, the good thing is that with the number 17 that's currently sitting in P3, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, yellow out in sector number 3 at the present moment. But there's DIS's cam into their location there. And so I would imagine we'll probably... there we go. Peace sign from DIS, and there's Andy Kirsten on the right hand side. We had a chat with us earlier on. That's what you like to see. So I say, hey guys.
A nice little wave. We do have developments in LMP2 and developments that might determine the course of the race, because Robert Porn has made a mistake somewhere. He was about 20 seconds ahead of Inigo Anton and the SEM 9 Axel car. Now he's just 11 seconds ahead, and he needs to be a lot further up because Robert Porn has an extra pit stop to make relative to Inigo Anton.
Yep, still nothing really decided as of yet because we have just under 2 hours and 20 minutes to go. It's running up to close to 1:45. We've been going strong since 1:30 this afternoon. We are going to be going deep into the early hours of the morning. Oh, and a little bit of a misjudgment.
That's for position.
There. That is for position, so... Nikolai Bezrukov in the Unison Racing, the 717, the same number that they used last year when they secured the GT3 title with Aston Martin power, and they've switched to Munich's finest, the one that is no longer, funny enough, used in GTE. That was actually taken off the shelf, so to speak, and put into pasture, but we are keeping that car alive and well here in the EEWC.
So I think we might actually be getting an interview from DIS. I got a nice little message in saying that they would be free for an interview if we have time, and I think we've got a brief lull state before I'm sure the action kicks off once again.
Okay.
And the action on track is with the DIS car, so we get to have their live emotions if there is some contact between the two.
That's actually really, really good. So, Yusuf, do you want to take us through on that one if they are ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, DIS, can you guys hear us?
I can for sure. How are you?
Not too bad. So, is tension running high at the moment with you guys in your battle for P3?
Yeah, it is for sure. I think we knew these last hours was probably going to be rough. We have Mikkel in the car right now, and we'll take the last stints. Hopefully, giving the good guys a run for the money.
Now, it is very close between you guys and Nikolai Bezrukov. I do have to ask, are you guys at all worried about Zoltan Varkoni in the 67?
No, I think Andy will keep his head his head cool. I think the gap is a bit too far. I think it's always tricky here in the end. I think we have one pit more than at least 717. So of course that means that we gotta be faster on track. So of course everything can happen, but hopefully we don't have to worry about Sultan.
So right now as well for your driver out on circuit, for Mikkel, if there is a battle with the Unison Racing car, what are his orders? Is he allowed to battle, or is it just think about your own race?
I think this early in the season we got a battle for sure. This is what we've been waiting for all winter, right? So, and this is a great track. I think the last fight for position we saw between with Andy and Unison were great. And I think didn't they have 3 or 4 laps where they were battling back and forth. So for sure a lot of racing.
Great to hear that you guys are looking to battle. Alex, any questions from yourself?
One question I do have. Good to see that you guys are sticking with the tried and trusted weapon, the Porsche 911 RSR. It's like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we've seen some great battles from you guys last year in 2021. I still remember the all-out GTE war that was Silverstone. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys bring to the party in terms of Chinese fireworks, particularly at this round.
Yeah, I think we stepped to the GT class last year, and I think there's a lot of work to switch car. And for us, I think it was important to stick with the Porsche for now, and for this season also, because we're having a bit of a mix around. I'm taking more of the team management role for this season and supporting as I can. As we see Andy and Mikkel change cars, but I think that's we shouldn't change too much in the same season, so sticking with the Porsche is going to be now, and hopefully a bit of good old racecraft and engineering from the tactic side. We'll try to focus on that as well.
I've got one final question for you, Yannick. Are we going to see you in for the 24-hour races for Spa-Francorchamps, Le Mans later on this year, my friend?
That's the plan.
Glad to hear it, Yannick. Thank you very much for that. Yusuf, any more?
No, nothing else from me. Best of luck, Yannick, for you and the team, not just for this race, but for the entire season.
Thank you very much, and hopefully I can get my Nico Rosberg hair back for the next race around.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, you got 4 weeks.
That's the deal.
So thank you to Yannick Gotthardsen from DISSR Lab there. Big thank you to him, and also good to see him giving the peace sign and the friendly wave to the camera. Really good to hear from Yannick, and good to see they're all at fine spirits in that camp, and they are losing a little bit of ground at the moment, I will be completely honest, to Nikolai Bezlukov, but there is time for them to claw that back, Yusuf, because we're about just under 14 minutes away from the top of the hour, and then we'll be going into the final 2 hours of the 12 Hours of Matsusaka. How about that?
Absolutely. I was a little bit disappointed, I'm not going to lie, when I asked him about Mugensen Racing. Is he worried? He was like, nah, they're a lap behind. I was like, I know, but I just wanted hope.
You would just you were probably doing this.
Yeah.
Both sets of fingers crossed behind his back.
Honestly,
just like,
right
please,
now,
please.
I don't want anything bad for the teams, but I'm hoping that all of them have the same issues, and it means that we have a 5-way dogfight for the win.
Yannick, that means that you can throw the Yusuf under the bus if something goes completely awry. Literally.
Only if it happens to everyone, then you can throw me under the bus.
Point taken. There's Wojtek Polezny, Deuces Motorsport Club. Nick Newcomb was actually in touch with me about, what was it, must have been a couple of hours ago, and he said that GT and LMP2 were going to go down to the wire, and he said, and so literally he then messaged me and said, 20 minutes, I'm on the decks. Well, there we go, nothing changes there then. But Juicers have been very, very busy indeed. I mean, they've got multiple campaigns. They're racing in multiple different events. That's what we find. We've talked about this already. Look at that. Wojtek Polezny is like a man possessed right now. Just the intense concentration on the Czech Republic driver's face. Crossing the line once again. I mean, he's just put in... Oh, hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen. 158.609. That was the best part of nearly 9/10 of a second quicker than Deegan Fairclough, who is probably very soon going to be crossing the line in the car itself. And I think he's just done a 59.5. Nikolai Bezlukov is a little bit further adrift as well, but it seems to be that all the little ducks are in order at Juice's Motorsport at the moment, with 2 hours and 11 minutes still to go of this race. They've got a bit of a commanding lead. I think Deegan Fairclough, has just gone out of pit lane. Or seen Satellite Racing in there as well. They're just that's got Adam State. It's not been an easy one for Satellite. They were up into the top 5, and they could. We know that they can come back with this. You know, Juan Amaya was in one of their DPI cars last year. And right, okay, we have a penalty coming.
Ooh, this is a drum roll moment. Well, I need to be doing the drum roll for you.
Unfortunately, stop go 10-second penalty for Mugen Sim Racing 67 for not now this is the verbatim I've just had from Race Control. Not respecting other cars for 3 infractions.
So that'd be for one of the juices, I'm assuming, that we saw.
I would probably say that will be for multiple incidents, and when you think about it, that could be involving juices maybe several times. Because when you think about it, if you're the faster car, the car behind, if they're lapped, that's a blue flag. So if they're not getting out of the way quick enough, that could also be an infraction.
But with endurance racing, you don't need to get out of the way for a blue flag.
No, but the thing is that if there's something happening that Race Control have spotted, and if there's multiple incidents and they've been thrown at Mugen, it may not just be that Juices have sent in a report. It might have been that other teams might have sent in a report. I
wonder if the contact that we saw between Musto and Juices, between Juices and Mugen, we saw something, if there was something similar between Mugen and Musto. I don't think it'd be for disrespecting blue flags. I think if that's the case, that's an iffy one, because Mugen were the quicker car, and you can't tell a quicker car not to get on with their race.
What I'm basically asking Race Control is just to confirm which numbers were the other cars.
Yeah.
Just so we get full clarification. So I'll wait to hear from Race Control to inform me, and I'm being told I'm getting a message as we speak right now. So I would rather give a bit more of knowing what the okay.
Ooh, I've seen a nice video from Roland Zux in the Discord channel, and he's not very happy with Musto. So I wonder if that's one of the reasons for it. Right,
well, I'm just getting notification from Race Control of the 3... Okay. Well, the last one was B32 Racing.
Okay. So that would have been them just overtaking them normally.
Yeah. So that was the third incident on that one. I'm just asking for the other two. So just I want to get full clarification. I want to make sure that I have the information to hand. It's just would rather make sure. But yeah.
Robert Pawn did make a pit stop a couple of laps ago. So if those LMP2s can go 45 minutes, which is what we usually expect of them, he has 2 more pit stops to go. We're still waiting for Andreasen and Inigo Anton to pit. I think Rasmus Andreasen will be pitting at the end of this lap or at the end of the next lap.
So the strategy call's being sort of analysed by one Yusuf bin Suhail, MD, of course.
Is it time to get the bandana out? The bandana of thought.
Ah, here we go. He has been waiting patiently.
I've not been waiting. You've been waiting. You've wanted this for the last 2 weeks. I wanted to see
this in person. And now we have the Milky-san, well, the Milky Kid here, the Daniel LaRusso tribute band to my immediate left-hand side. There we go. First the footwear, and now this.
I just need to stand over there and do a crane kick.
Who can be Mr. Miyagi? Who knows?
It's got to be Peter, right? I think Peter's got a Miyagi kind of vibe. Oh, okay, bringing me up, I'll just display this. It's all the sweat from commentating. It gets into the eyes, clouds my vision and judgment. Hence why I'm wearing this band.
It's been a long day, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. Sorry.
Okay, the 94 has pitted. Andreasen into the pits. We saw him coming in. Driver change as well, and this will probably be their last driver change as well. Joao Pitaias jumping into the car, and he's now about 50 seconds behind Robert Pawn. So I think that 94 car will be finishing third in this race. Unless something major happens from this point onwards. Inigo Anton's probably going to go for another 15 minutes before they have to make a pit stop in the 21.79 axle, so they're looking pretty good for taking the LMP2 class win.
Yeah, indeed. I'm getting messages left, right and centre, and we're not too far away from going into, well, we're just under 6 minutes away. You can see the respective current standings. Wojtek Poleczny, Juices Motorsport leading in GTE, ahead of Deegan Fairclough from Musto Pescara in the 54. Nikolai Bezrukov rounds out the top three for Unison Racing in the 717. I'm just getting another video at the moment, so...
Oh, I'm seeing a message from Mugen Sim Racing in the YouTube chat. Mugen, drop me a message. You've got me on the Discord, Yusuf bin Sahel, and we'll get you sorted for an interview.
Yes,
I'll run
the
you through it
person that we are... I just had a message from John. I think the person might be Gabor Hevesi, that we might be able to get on screen. I have got the 82 car actually up on my PC at the moment. We have said next time he has to be on camera. We've got Martin Mergely, and I'm just wondering, I'm just waiting for the go-ahead, hopefully fingers crossed. Gabor Hevesi, good evening.
Good evening, guys.
It's been a difficult one for you guys, putting it on pole position after time qualifying. What happened?
The gearbox failure.
Oh no!
Just like last year. Yeah, just like last year, our engine failed, and we had to get DQ and DQ and get the 3-lap penalty. So we are trying to recover, but it's so hard. We're hunting the B2 right now.
So was it a case of, again, the car going into neutral randomly and then upshifting into first?
No, it was... my teammate said he was going into 130R.
Yeah.
And got a small slide, and accidentally he downshifted when the RPM was so high.
Oh.
So it wasn't into neutral.
Yeah.
But still a big shock for the engine.
So effectively, if he was, if Christian was in 6th gear pushing 250 kilometers an hour, that car will have been bouncing off the rev limiter and blown the internals completely. So he's either accidentally shifted down from 6th maybe to 4th, and that's blown the engine sky high. That is a real shame to hear, Gabble, but nevertheless, you guys have been fighting back. Martin is, as you say, catching B32 Racing in the same machinery. The two cars separated by 53 seconds. You guys have got just over 2 hours. How's the positive feeling in the camp with you and the likes of Martin, Christian, and also, of course, Adam Surej? How are things in the camp feeling? Are you guys revved up, filled with adrenaline, and just going to go for broke and see what happens?
The gap is actually almost 2 laps, first of all. But we are like almost 2 seconds faster lap by lap. I'm gonna finish the race in the last 2 hours.
Wow.
Not actually the last 2 hours, but after Martin's stint, I'm gonna jump in and trying to make a miracle. But I'm not sure I can do that because the gap is so big. The teamwork was so good throughout the race. Pace was so good compared to the others. I think after like 10 hours I can say we were the quickest based on analyzing the live timing.
Yeah.
And it's a promising start for the whole season. For Monza at least we have better setup. We already have a base setup, and we're gonna try to do a perfect race, not like this, and hopefully we get.
I want to jump in because with your GT3 car, you guys, as you mentioned, you're quite clearly the quickest. You seem to have the pace, and if it wasn't for that unfortunate gearbox issue, I think you'd be leading by a very comfortable margin. So I want to talk a bit about your GTE team. What are your hopes for that team, and who do you really see yourselves battling with for the remainder of the season?
The GTE squad, as far as I know, they were also fighting for the win this race, but unfortunately they crashed with Viaduct and into.
Oh, I think their mic has gone out. It's happened before in the Google Meet, so hopefully we can hear from Mugen again soon once that comes through. As we are seeing Zoltan Vodkoni making his way towards...
Oh, there we go.
We can hear you again.
Okay, so as far as I know, the GT squad was hunting the win, just like we. But they unfortunately crashed, and after that they tried to get onto the podium, but like 10 minutes ago they got a stop and go penalty for dangerous driving or something. Like they were fighting with the Musto Porsche. They wanted to get back their lap, and there was a small contact, so in the end they got the stop and go, and as far as I know they are comfortable.
So I'm just going
with
to
E5.
jump across you for 5 seconds just to let our viewers know, but the 15 Deuces car has just DNF'd, and that's from second place in the LMP2 field. So I'm going to grab a replay of that. We'll continue talking to you guys at Mugen while I do that one, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been, just to let you know, Gabor, I've actually had some information from Race Control. There was some contact between the 34 and also when Zoltan was behind the wheel of the 67, but there was also an incident involving some contact with B32, one of the GT3 cars. So obviously that's down to Race Control. We don't have any bearing on it. But the thing is that we cannot believe that in the first round of the championship, like we had at Indianapolis last year, that we never thought that lightning would strike twice. It's two different incidents, but nevertheless, we know how good you guys are. We saw the LMP2 being in the fight for the championship right up until Le Mans last year.
Thank you.
Also the thing with the Jenson Button tribute band, Team Rocket RJN 41 McLaren, which was the old school 650, that was very, very close to winning the GT3 championship. I mean, realistically, Gabor, I think that you guys have got some great drivers. You've got two very, very compliant packages, and we wish you and all the teams at Mugen Sim Racing the very best of luck for the rest of the race and also for the rest of the season. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Right, Yusuf.
Well, wonderful to hear from Mugen.
Yes.
I did want to get in the quick question of what's been my go-to question? What food they eat during the race. Okay, now this looks bizarre because I've just seen it. Would you like an onboard or an offboard view?
I would like to see a trackside version of this.
Okay,
that'd be quite good.
Well, we have the replay ready. Production, we got the thumbs up. We're riding on board with Robert Pawn as he's made his way out of Degner 2, and then look at this.
Oh, that says to me some sort of technical malfunction because you went straight.
You know what that is?
Go on.
That's the Newcomber version 2 from Indianapolis.
Oh no, you just...
Honestly, EEWC 2022, I'm calling it now, it's just 2021 version 2.
I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point, and you were just grinning inside, and now
I don't. Okay, I found it vaguely funny that it's happened again,
yeah.
but I, like anyone else, never like to see this kind of stuff happen
No.
to a driver,
No.
especially when they were battling for a win. Because even let's say in the scenario that I didn't like Juices, which is not the case, I would still want them there because it's a battle for the lead, and that's fun.
Exactly, because when you have that kind of significant incident, which not only puts you into the barriers, so you don't wish that on anybody at all, not one iota. And I really feel for Juices, because there was so much going on that you and I have been guessing for quite a long time, but we have gone into the last 1 hour and 55 minutes. Join us in a few moments as we head into the last 115 minutes of the 12 hours of Matsusaka. We'll be right back after these messages. The 2022 Endurance eRacing World Championship brought to you in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Aztec Sim Sports, Global Flix, Motorvision.tv, Stengolm, ESTV, and Film Vault Limited.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.
Racing World Championship. My name's Alex Goldschmidt, and for the next hour I'll be joined by Mr. Kieran McGinley. Welcome back, Kieran. Good to see that you've had a good rest and tried to rest those vocal cords. And Chris Buxton throwing you under the bus, saying you were commentating like you were commentating a cup of sand or something like that, if memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, probably as raspy as a cup of sand as well. So it's a fair criticism actually, but no, I've been well and truly carried, and hopefully it will last just that little bit longer.
Yeah. So Kieran will be joining us for the last 60 minutes of his stint, and then you'll be here for the next, I think, probably about the best part of just over an hour and 20 minutes. I'll come back at about 1:30, and then myself and Yusuf bin Sahai will take you through to the end, and obviously the roundup of the show itself here for the 12 hours of Matsusaka. But I will be completely honest, when I think there was a little bit of gratification taken from Yusuf bin Sahai when he was talking about Juicer saying Newcomer version 2.0. I mean, from seeing it from your perspective when you're in the broadcast booth, what was your take on it? Because literally the car went straight on, smacked the barriers, rear wings being torn asunder, and then all of a sudden the car's gone straight into it's denied us of what was really looking like a really great battle. And there is the car back again on the circuit. There's Robert Paul, and the car's now demoted down to 5th position. And yeah, it's and I've just had another penalty come through. You know how I talked about the fact that I was hoping that lightning was not going to strike twice when we were talking to Gabba Hevesi from Mugen?
Are you only going to say that lightning has just struck twice?
Well, the thing is that we've just seen Juicers have one drama. They're now going to have another one because Car 74 has just been given a drive-through penalty for not giving enough respect for Racing Room on car number 54, which is Deegan Fairclough, and that is the battle for the lead in the GTE class. I really have no words right about now, and the gap is 73 seconds, so when you look at it from this perspective, Vojta Paleshi's got to serve that within the next 3 laps. They'll be saying to him, right, okay, Vojta, you've got a drive-through penalty you've got to serve. He'll contest it anyway, but they will have to serve it within the next 3 laps. The quicker that he gets on with it, gets it done, gets it out of the way, they will probably, I mean, I'm wondering how long it's going to be, if it's like about 30-35 seconds just trundling down pit lane. That could be quite close between first and second. That could really, really open up the GTE League battle going into the last hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's roughly 20 to 25 seconds you'll lose in the pit lane. So when he does rejoin, he'll be rejoining, with the best part of a minute in his pocket. But it's going to be 20 fewer seconds or 25 fewer seconds that they would have built up and could maybe use to their advantage for their final scheduled stop.
Yeah.
So the fact that they have had to, they will now have to make this unscheduled trundling down the pit lane is going to be, a big task to try and recover that time in the long run. But at the end of the day, they've got the penalty now. They'll have to serve it. There's, as you say, they could contest it, but if you contest it and don't serve it, you just run the risk of getting that penalty worsened and worsened. It's just not worth the risk. Serve the penalty and then do the talking afterwards. That's probably the way it should go.
I think that's probably the best thing they could do. They can approach it with the full throttle application attitude. Just go for broke and see what happens, and whatever does transpire at the end of it. I mean, this race has had more twists and turns than a never-ending story, and that's very, very true, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just saw on your screen there that one of the DIS Sim Racing Lab went for a spin just as you said that. Poetry in motion.
Yeah, well,
Mr. Goldschmidt.
Yes, indeed, Mr. McGinley. Well, let's see if we can switch to another interview. Have we got Burst Esports' very own Rasmus Andreasen? Rasmus, can you hear us? Good evening. Oh, he might need to I'm not too sure if he's muted or unmuted at the moment. Bear with us 2 seconds. Hang on.
Oh, sorry. That's on me.
Hey, Rasmus. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. I was having a chat with Tom Oldenmenger a bit earlier on. It's been tough for the 94, but it's coming to the crux of it being a two-way fight between you guys at Burst Esport, Good of Sunglasses, and then the 21 car of 79 Axel. There's been some great battling with Juices, obviously, until the drama that's dropped him out of the battle for the lead. But you couldn't ask for a more challenging first race of the season if you tried, could you?
No, not really. It has been up and down so far, but we have kept, as you probably heard from Tom earlier, we have kept our heads high and our spirit high. And we are still believing we can get it done. Even though there's a bit of a gap between us and the leader, we are still believing. Of course, we have been helped a bit by Duches crashing out, and it's unfortunate for them because they did a really good race up until that point. But we're looking at the bright side, and we keep pushing, still believing.
I think, well, when I spoke with Tom earlier, Erasmus, he was saying, yeah, we were double stinting soft tyres. Very, very significantly bold approach from you guys at Burst Esports, Good of Sunglasses. But he then said, yeah, we're having to be a little bit creative on the strategy, and that's going to be crucial. I see that nice big cheesy grin on your face there as soon as I asked you that question. But with an hour and 46 minutes on the clock, it is difficult to predict how the race is going to pan out. I mean, you guys have just got to keep on pushing. I mean, Charles in the car at the moment. He's running the 147.7s. The consistency is the key to maximising that strategy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we have a few tricks up our sleeve. No, just kidding. Double stinting was the initial plan. The first couple of hours, it seems to work. And then somehow we fell behind. We went over to a single stint strategy a few hours ago, and it has been a good choice for us. We are working on a few things, and hopefully it will come good at the end. We have to push as much as possible, but at the same time we need to, as Tom said, be creative with the strategy.
Kieran, have you got any questions for Erasmus by any chance?
Yeah, Erasmus, obviously it's been a hectic race so far. How are you approaching these sort of last hour and 45 minutes? Are you just going gung-ho, and is there a chance you could maybe get this over the line for the win? What's your thinking on that one?
Well, of course we are going for the win. It has been planned from the start. If we can do it or not, there's different things that it depends on. Our pace, the leader, their pace, and maybe some strategy at the end. Of course we are going as fast as we can, as always, but we are working on a few things, and hopefully it will come good at the end, but time will tell.
Okay, well, I've been asked by Yusuf to ask you a particular question. He seems to be starting a theme at the beginning of the 2022 season.
Oh, no.
What's your preferred food choice during an endurance race like this one? Is there something that you have a go-to? And I know we asked you this question earlier on, Kieran McGinley.
Well, definitely not pineapple on pizza, which was a topic in official practice.
Brilliant.
No, I'm not have any particular. I have a bottle of water next to me always to keep myself hydrated. And nothing in particular, not any favorites, just normal healthy diet as much as possible.
Brilliant. Well, Rasmus Andreasen from the number 94 Burst Esport, Good of Sunglasses. Rasmus, good to chat with you. Good luck to the team for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
You know what? If Yusuf's going to ask me to ask that again, I'm going to throw him under the bus right now. He can do that his damned self.
I mean, throwing each other under the bus, it's quite a way to start the 2022 season, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
It might be a theme throughout, not just asking every single driver we interview, what do you normally eat? What sort of food do you have beside you on a stint? No. We'll just throw everyone, each of us on the commentary team, under the bus and see who is the last commentator standing. I think that's how this season is going to pan out. We've got 6 rounds of this.
Okay. Right. Okay. I'm actually getting some other notifications from race control. Juices Motorsport have received a 1-lap penalty. They did not inform race control as per the regulations and automatically get a stop-go second, the 60-second penalty. Satellite Racing have just got a penalty as well, I've just been informed. They did not respect the space for the slower car, which was the 188 Teleforingen GT3 car. Stop-go penalty, 60 seconds has been applied by race control, and we're getting to that point now, Kieran, where mental and physical fatigue are starting to set in a little bit. There's been, I'm not going to say the word clumsy, there are some unforced errors actually being made, and it's not it's not conducive. Marco Slanzi in the 164 now going through. That's the drive-through serve. They have 3 laps to do so. Otherwise, race control at their discretion, if memory serves me correctly, can further exacerbate that penalty to a higher stringency. And I am hopefully waiting for somebody else. I just had a message from Maria Rinhack, actually, from Glam Racing, the 404 Audi team boss. So we'll wait to see if we get the go-ahead to see whether we can have a chat with her in the next few moments or so. But Robert Paul rounding out the top 5 positions. All gets a bit sideways going through the corner. Manages to keep it parked up the inside of Teleforingen right there. So a very, very good job indeed from Robert Paul. The car now down in what is 5th position at the moment, and realistically, you know, we've been denied of that LMP2 battle. You could see that there was a little bit of air of disappointment from Rasmus because Burst Esport Good of Sunglasses had 2 other challengers for the victory, and now one of them has been taken away, and they said it's very unfortunate. And as I say that, I just saw a brief yellow out for Jesper Pedersen, the team boss of Burst Esports himself. He's now behind the wheel of the number 18, so he's taken over from Joni Simoncic. There's a brief yellow flag out there, but they managed to keep it on the black stuff, and the good thing is that car at the moment is still leading the motor race.
Yeah, and by 1 lap against the nearest car out on track, the LMP2 machine, that number 21 car, but also having a look down at its nearest class competitor, it is 6 laps ahead. That's an astonishing gap at the best of times, let alone, you know, over the last 10.5 hours. That's an astonishing gap to have. 6 laps leading Burst Esport from Moradnes E-Stars. And if you would have told me that they would be leading by 6 laps coming into the closing 90 minutes of the race, considering how relatively close everything was in qualifying, especially in the nighttime session, I'd have called you mad.
There's a box of frogs.
Well, the one light stuck in my throat.
I'm not even going. Look, we've had too much banter behind the scenes about that, and I think I'm not going to do that to my poor mate Kieran. Even though I have taken the mickey out of you quite a few times to your face this evening, but I'm not going to do that live on air. I'm not that kind of person.
Not on air. No.
Not on air. No, not on air. But I have to give this man credit. He hasn't been feeling 100%. But the main thing is he has been a trooper. He's part of the commentary team here at GTR24H. It's always a pleasure to work alongside this guy. And for him to be a trooper, to have gravelly voice and all, still here in the dying throes, and, you know, you've definitely done a fantastic job all the way through. You did the morning show this morning with Yusuf. You started the broadcast with me. Hasn't gone plain sailing. Chris Buxton threw you under the bus about your voice.
But then again, I did throw him under the bus, so that was well deserved.
Exactly. So we're just going to keep on keeping on. We haven't got long of the race to go. 1 hour, 38 minutes and 50 seconds still remaining before time runs out to 0. And I'm wondering, production, I don't know if we might have Glam Racing in the meeting, because they want to have an interview. So a very, well, good morning actually. Maria Rinhack, are you with us? Hopefully. There she is.
Yeah. Hi.
Morning. I'm not going to say good morning because I'm not going to say good morning, Maria, because it has been a very difficult race, but there has been a very, very solid performance. Second in qualifying yesterday evening. After the 2 qualifying sessions, the car went 3/10 faster in the second session, which we were absolutely blown over by. You were off your maiden GTR24H pole position in the class, running in the lead at one point. We saw some great battling with Callum and Lee behind the wheel. And Mr. Van der Voorde also doing his level best to keep 585 Volante at bay. Despite the trials and tribulations the team has gone through, with the pace, the consistency, everyone's got stuck in, they've got their elbows out, they're still pushing to the end, to the checkered, and you're still going to get points. How proud of you are you of the team after, despite all these dramas, would you say?
Well, like you said, it's been a good race and been a bad race, but that's a normal Glam Racing race, basically. But I am happy for all of us. I think the drivers been doing the best they can and been doing amazing battles. That's been fun for the viewers to watch. So I think, hands off, I'm glad that they're on my team because they've been doing amazing.
Yeah, just looking through the lap times, actually, I think the car itself might have... well, apparently, according to this, I think the best lap so far is a 1 minute 58.5 for the Audi, your car. So, in comparison with what we saw in the latter stages of 2021, I think the switch to Audi power was very, very much validated. We talked about that when you and Henrik came to visit the studios before official free practice. I think all that wheel time that the boys behind the wheel actually put in to test the cars, they went with a bona fide choice. And I think, you know, you said about your third place for 2021, you said if we're third or higher, I'm happy. I think we could see something rather special from Glam Racing. You were fractions off a pole position, which would have been a point on the board, but still, the car is doing it in perfect Glam Racing style with that wonderful livery, Maria. It's one of my favourites.
Thank you. I know the boys earlier said it was one of them said it was a 7 out of 10. I wasn't happy about that, so I want my cake back. Thank you.
Oh, Yusuf. No, Maria, Yusuf's not getting his share of it. I'm sorry.
Good.
That's going to me. That's going to me because it's a 9.5 out of 10 in my book.
Thankfully, he didn't get a sticker, so.
Oh, shots fired to Yusuf. Oh dear. Kieran, have you got any questions for Maria from Glam?
Yeah, I mean, as Alex said, and you'll have to excuse the croaky voice, everyone has to today
no
so
worries,
far.
No worries.
Considering this race, it's been up and down is a fair way to say it. There's been a mixed bag throughout, but how would you sort of, going into the last 90 minutes of the race, a few words to sum up the drive today? Sort of, how have you made it? The season opener is here, it's almost gone. How do you look forward to the rest of the season?
Well, right now the boys have shown we do have pace up there. We can do battles, and like I said, we did pick the right car. So right now we should just do what we did before the crash happened, and we know we can beat up there, and just keep doing it. Because if that thing didn't happen, we'll be up there. We'll be in the top 3 at least. So. Just going off that, I am very pleased and I look forward to the season because I know we can do it. I have to believe in it, so.
There we go. The only team manager, the only female team manager in GTR24H, Maria Rinhack from Glam Racing. Maria, tusen tack, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the race over the next 90 minutes.
Thank you, and thank for you.
So, big thank you to Maria Rinhack from Glam Racing. With that in mind, we have just shy of 90 minutes to go for the 2022 GTR24H EEWC season opener. The 12 Hours of Matsusaka will be right back after these messages. Don't go away. The 2022 Endurance eRacing World Championship brought to you in partnership with Viper Gaming by Patriot, Aztec Sim Sports, Global Flix, Motorvision.tv, Stengolm, ESTV, and Film Vault Limited.
Racing for Green is here to help you carbon neutralize your racing. By planting new trees, Racing for Green offers to make your racing carbon neutral. We already have the calculations, contacts, infrastructure, deals and solutions ready for you to easily buy carbon neutral laps on any racetrack. It doesn't matter if you are a racing fan, team owner, driver, sponsor or partner. Anyone can buy CO2 neutral laps in the Racing for Green webshop and trade CO2 emissions for New Forest. Racing for Green.